I'm taking all the precautions on my end, so anyway,
but
I
digress.
But I had them say something about that,
Yeah.
I had them say, oh, well, we're worried. It's not like we're going to sue you. And I'm like, whoa. Okay. that being said, sign this.
Exactly.
But if you do have a restaurant, a cafe, a food truck, a Black-owned business that serves food, we like to eat dinner on Tuesdays. We're here for dinner time on Tuesdays. Hook us up. We'll hook you up. Right. We want to see you excel outside of COVID.
Okay. So since we can segue nicely from that to Dr. Carlin. So you know what? This is huge. COVID and mental health, because it has affected so many people mentally, emotionally, in ways that you never thought.
Relationships have been strained.
Well, I would say not even those who were already diagnosed, but how about diagnosis came from this? And you're like, oh. So Dr. Carlin, I mean, well, first of all, let's, introduce yourself to people.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey, everybody. I am Dr. Carlin Barnes. I am a psychiatrist, double board certified,
you know what I'm saying?
Harvard trained,
from
New Jersey.
All right,
city,
she gets the canned laughter. I mean, the
All right, Texas A&M is on your thing too, right?
Yeah. By way of,
she said that too.
Girl, from here too.
I'm from here too.
Oh.
Yeah, but my roots go back to Jersey.
Okay, East Coast. All right, I love the East Coast.
Yeah.
Jersey girl.
Exactly. And so I am a board certified psychiatrist, and I have a practice in the medical center, and I am a Black-owned business. So check that. Hey, and I'm surviving in COVID because mental health is real, and I have been busier now than ever.
That was one of the first things I wanted to talk about, is how your business was affected by COVID, because I'm sure the patients double up, the issues double up, the issues are different. Like, tell us about your journey through psychiatry.
Right. So when I was, a lot of people, first let's start with the basics, right? Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that psychiatrists are medical doctors. But when I went to medical school, I was really intrigued by how the mind can affect behaviors. And I was totally intrigued by the fact that there weren't really many people, patients or doctors, that looked like me. So I wanted to go into psychiatry because I felt like there was a lack there, and I could help people that look like me.
Yes.
Because mental illness does not discriminate. It doesn't care how old you are, how rich you are, what color you are,
how pretty you are,
what kind of labels you wear, what your degrees are, mental illness,
how religious you are. That is one.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is a huge one that we talked about.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll get into that.
Jesus don't care.
Yes.
You ain't got Jesus in your life, so that's why you're crazy.
Right, you aren't praying enough.
Right.
And then the best one I've seen so far is this meme. This kid says, "Mom, I think I'm depressed." And his mom says, "You better go depress them dishes."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Yeah, and my specialty is child and adolescent. And so, So a lot of the ills that we do to our children follow us into adulthood.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's really important to me. Yeah. It's important to me to represent for the culture because I'm passionate about communities that are dealing with health disparities and lack of representation. And mental illness is real, especially during COVID. Like, I have patients telling me that they can't find their antidepressants in the pharmacy because they're out of stock because so many people are using them. Yeah, it's really real. And it's affecting us just like COVID and closing of businesses. We talked about small businesses and financial, everything. When it hits us worse. And so that's why I'm really
and why does it hit us worse? Why would you say? Is there less support amongst our community? Why would you say it can affect us or impact us, more so than any other ethnicity or race?
That's a good question. And I think that it goes back to lack of access and lack of information.
Okay.
And we have been hit by so much that we don't want to air our dirty laundry. Yeah. And so if a person not of color gets depressed, they're depressed. If a person of color gets depressed, it's because they didn't have a father in the household or they are poor. They just can't have a brain disease.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, you think of it, I mean, obviously being a doctor, it's a disease. There's something chemically going wrong upstairs.
Exactly. It's a disease. I mean, why the heart gets a disease,
Yeah.
your teeth get a disease, your bones get a disease, but the brain is like a social judgment type thing.
Where did we miss the boat on that? I know we have built-in trauma, you know, a lot of us, but as far as mental illness being like this taboo thing that we don't really talk about in our families, and we all know somebody or have somebody. Where in our American Black history did it become this taboo thing?
Well, it became a taboo thing when people, the larger culture, felt like it was not okay for us to have emotions. How many of us have heard about the strong Black woman?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Black girl magic, strong Black woman.
But we get sad, we get happy, we get angry, but we're supposed to be robots as far as our emotions.
Exactly.
And that's
like what I texted y'all earlier. I did all this. I'm tired.
You're tired, right?
I'm like, who else got up, got them kids ready, saw 26 patients, drove across town, did this, did that, did that. I'm just hey, it's not my show, but you know.
Yeah, she's
anyway,
a Wonder Woman.
But
Wonder Woman.
So you expect us to be just a show, but I'm just saying. But
yeah,
no, but that's it. I mean, and that's exactly. I mean, how we're seen.
Y'all got to be on 24/7.
You that's right.
No breaks.
No breaks.
And the Black man too.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does the Black man have to deal with, right?
Oh my God.
But if you show emotions,
then you're weak.
We're weak. We're like, man, toughen up, man.
Yeah.
Act like a G.
Exactly. No crying. You know, they stop that crying. That's taught at a very young age. Is it not? You deal with children, adolescents. You know, I would love to touch on how, you know, the young black son,
right,
you know, and the Black father, and how emotion, that emotional intelligence is, there's a disrupt in it. And so, I mean, because I see that all the time. I remember, oh my gosh, I remember attending years ago a friend's, birthday party for their 1-year-old son. Little 1-year-old son, still a baby, is it not? It was crawling, and he was like, "Get up! You know how to walk. Get up!"
Right.
And just toughen up. These, little boys are called, "Come on, little man," at such an early age, and they're taught to man up. They're taught, stop that crying. No, we don't give hugs. We give dap, or we give, whatever.
Right.
So, what's the difference between that and, again, we're not the difference, but where's the emotional intelligence disconnect, and why is that perpetuated?
Right. So, and then it goes to like the toxic masculinity, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, I have an input on that, being a Black man, a father, and a son.
Well, no, I want to hear what you have to say.
This is, when we do that, when we say toughen up to our son, and I do it too. I do it to all of my kids. I talk to them like they were adults, at a young age. If I see them fall, I used to physically restrain my ex-wife to run over there and pick them up. No. Get up. You're fine. Get up. You're messing up the grass. Get up. You're
embarrassing me. Stop crying. You're embarrassing me.
But, it was a thing, like, I'm trying to toughen him up. I'm trying to prepare him for a life of independence. I'm trying to prepare him for a life that there's going to be a lot of bullets flying at you, man. And
you didn't grow up in Beirut.
No, not physical, not real bullets.
No, I'm just playing.
But I'm just saying, you're going to take a lot of heat, and there's going to be a lot of stressors coming towards you. And number one, I'm not always going to be there to help you. Number two, I need you to know how to handle that. I need you to know what stress feels like, and what it feels like to overcome stress, what it feels like to get up and walk. You know what I'm saying? And get up and walk. And many times, I see other parents and.
But did you experience that as a child? Did
yes.
you experience that?
Yes. Get up, rub some dirt on.
Well, what I can say, just from a personal anecdote, my household was a little bit different. I watched my father, and my brother, and that was not the atmosphere in mine. And my dad grew up, drinking from color fountains and being called a nigga.
Damn.
So I'm just saying, it is what it is. But that's what he grew up with. But I've seen my father cry. I've seen that was never, it was never a point, and my brother was born in 82?
Yeah. So
there was never a point, where he was like, man up, do this, do that, whatever. My brother turned out just fine. Yeah. But I'm just saying, that was not the, emotional intelligence in our household. But I can't speak obviously for everyone else, but that was just, how I grew up. So, I kind of look at that and I look at, young fathers mean my age, not, my father's age, and I see the difference. And I don't see that same, sensitivity. I don't see that.
I am trying to but be a little bit lighter and let him be a little boy and let me be his daddy.
How old is he?
He's 10. Okay. And hug on him some more, love on him some more, and not always be his coach and not always be, so gangster with him.
Well, Dr. Carlin, how do
I raise my son? Please tell me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard, right? Because you got to walk that balance, because that when he leaves your house, everybody is not going to be so emotionally intelligent with him just because of the color of his skin. But at the same time, you have to, like you said, let him have a childhood. Let him seeing him be sad and know that it's okay, because he is going to grow up and be a man, and he's going to carry that legacy or burden with him. And you mentioned a good point, a good word, stress. So like stress is good in small amounts, because if a fire broke out in here, right, we get stressed, we get prepared to run, but
it activates our flight,
but Black folks, we deal with stress every day, all day, and that is not healthy. And studies show that when you are constantly under a state of stress, it sets up inflammation in your body. And
swelling?
Yeah, inflammation. Yeah.
You got the gout?
Wow.
So heart disease, brain disease.
Sure.
Yeah. Which leads to depression, which leads to anxiety. So
obesity?
Obesity. Yeah. So
what? Obesity?
So it's all related. It's all related. And we got to take care of our mental health, because you can't have good physical health without having good mental health.
Exactly. That's part of it.
Like the whole house is on fire and we're just in there. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
That is what happens,
right.
That's too funny.
As far as the young community in COVID, where have you seen the increase in the issues there?
Oh my goodness, so many, because young people are one of the groups that's at most risk. We got frontline workers, essential healthcare workers, small business.
What age group? I'm sorry to interrupt. What age group are you targeting when you say that? When you're young people?
Young people, college age and down.
Okay.
Because so much of their life has been disrupted.
Absolutely.
My son, I got a son at Duke University.
Oh, hey,
go Duke in the house. Yeah. And so
okay, Blue Devils.
That's
all right.
Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
Yes, obesity.
Yeah.
I've been to Chapel Hill.
Okay.
But UNC. But no. Anyway, go ahead.
And he was on spring break, and he just called me like, "Mom, they said we can't come back to school."
Yeah.
And
come back here.
Right. Yeah, we don't want you to bring COVID.
I know.
So, and now he's back on campus, and they were like, "Surprise! We said y'all were coming back to class, but y'all are not." And so I'm paying for a very expensive apartment.
Exactly.
That's so tough.
Yeah. So many of their plans have been disrupted, and it all rolls downhill, right?
Yeah.
So mom and dad are stressed, and now the kids are stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have the skills to deal with all of this.
I was gonna say, how are you coaching as far as coping skills with them?
Right. So resources.
Mm-hmm.
So pointing them to resources. CDC.gov. What can be done in your community, as far as, hey, this is just a moment in time, the temporary, I heard you, Theo, say, hey, this will be over hopefully soon, just reminding them that this is not going to last forever, but to remind parents to take care of themselves, because if you don't take care of yourself, then your child is not going to be taken care of.
Right.
So I wanted to talk, but we're still talking about young people and adolescents and millennials, Gen X, Gen Y, that little age group. So you have a special variable with them. It's called social media. So, but when you were in school learning about adolescent, I don't know exactly when you were in school, but I believe it was the late 80s.
He's trying to tiptoe around.
I just got out. I just got out.
She just turned 22.
I just made it out.
Yes, no.
But I read your bio.
Right.
And so we're talking about the late 80s, early 90s, when you're getting your training, there was no Snapchat, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook. Now you have adolescents that's their job, that's their career.
Yep.
And then
it's their lifeline.
It's their lifeline. And
Yep.
then, it takes a toll on the normal folks that are on social media because we have these likes, comments, and we're checking our phones all the time like that. So
I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah.
Hey.
So how did you have to adjust? Because your training did not include the impact of social media on the mental of a millennial.
Right. So I tapped into my my knowledge base, my son, my little goddaughters, my cousins, but also the root cause of the problem may be different, but the problem is still the same.
Okay.
So social media might lend itself to depression,
Sure.
anxiety, bullying. We all experience those things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's a different avenue. Different outlet. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we just had it directly.
You know what I'm saying? It was in your face at lunchtime.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We tougher.
Yeah.
I used to go upside bullies' heads.
Listen. But before we continue, we want to say that you can call in. We want to encourage callers. You guys call in. Number is 281-818-6218. That's 281-818-6218. Absolutely call in. Have a question for the doc. You can be anonymous. You want to talk about the concerns that you have. You don't have to say your name or somebody, your loved one or anybody, anything you have on your mind. Yeah. Totally anonymous. Ask her. This is the time to do it.
We're also on Facebook, Talk Black Radio Podcast. I believe it's a live feed that's going on. So you can hop in there and get interactive with us as well.
There you go. Hey.
But get your little free session in over here. We got a doctor. She's live.
She's not taking your credit card either. I'm just saying.
She ain't checking if you got insurance. She ain't checking if you got insurance. Go ahead and ask your question.
This is your chance, but she's not writing scripts.
Right. But get your little free help.
I know, exactly. Get your free.
If you got kids, get your little free help, man.
You don't got kids.
That's what you need.
Unpack that high school trauma that you experienced.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's holding you back.
No judgment zone.
And you can be on your own couch.
There you go. That's what see.
We got a brother right there.
Hey, look at him. Look at him. Like, hey. We got. I love it.
And then we got
okay. So back. That's huge. As far as the social media. Because the thing is, that has been the only way that we have been able to really connect during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You're everyone is overexposed and you're just always on with the social media, with zooming in, with everything else. It's so funny because right before the pandemic hit, they were pushing, hey, pick up a book. Hey, go outside, go out with friends. Were they not doing that?
Yeah.
Right. Pandemic hit. Hey, stay inside.
Right.
Get away from me.
I don't want to be.
I know.
She's there with a smile. Get away from me. Don't touch me.
I know, right?
Wash your hands twice.
Yeah. I like you, but over there. So, but that's so interesting. It was such a contrast because right before then we were trying to promote being together and being out and and connecting like that. So as soon as it hit, then they're, everybody distance, but they're like, hey, you can socially distance, but not emotionally distance.
Yeah, right.
So that's what was difficult, to learn how to still stay emotionally connected, but from afar. Mm-hmm. I think that, definitely, it's definitely, with social media, there's a balance. Mm-hmm. You have to know what's healthy.
Right.
And so what are you telling, the adolescents, what is a healthy amount of social media? What is the healthy way to approach it, to be engaged in it, to take away from it and not, again, succumb to, the bullying or let it affect them emotionally and mentally.
And I'll say this real quick, with Dr. Vanessa and I, we kind of rely on social media, different platforms to do what we need to do, and we're mature enough up here. Mm-hmm. These kids are.
Right, so. Right. It's this movie that came out, documentary.
It's called, I know what you're talking about.
Bad Hair?
No.
I was playing.
I know what you're talking about. I'm going to watch it with my son.
It's really good. And it talks about how social media was meant for all the good things that we talked about, staying connected and but then it went too far. And, you know, we as adults don't even see all of that, because I learned so much by watching that documentary, but our adolescents, and you really don't. And so it's really important for parents to know where their kids are going and to have conversations with them about it. Not in a, I told you so, you better get out and take your phone kind of way, but help me to understand where you're going. Let me find out what you're interested in, what's going on social media.
How to approach it more neutrally, you know, exactly.
Yeah.
We do have a caller.
It's called Social Dilemma.
The Social
Dilemma. That's right.
Very good.
I highly suggest you watch it.
Yes.
First, watch it by yourself.
Oh, see, someone even said that. I wouldn't pay attention.
Yeah.
I should have watched.
You watch it. Watch it yourself.
I should have been paying attention to my social media. No, I'm just kidding. We do have a caller. We have a caller for the dot.
What's up?
Lisa. Lisa is on the line, so we're gonna bring her in. Hey, Lisa, what do you have to say? What's going on?
Lisa, are you there?
We can't hear her.
Did she hang up on us?
No, she's there.
Can she hear us?
Lisa? We might have a little bit of
no worries.
Yeah.
But the show's called Social Dilemma. Everybody who is a parent should definitely watch it. Yeah. Watch it by yourself first, so you get a perspective. Then sit there and watch it with your kids. My kids. So TikTok is the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a dancing type thing, you know. You do.
But there's apparently more stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot more stuff, and I didn't know that.
So you've got you're right. You're doing your field research. Like you have to be a part of all of it.
Oh, yes, it's really fun.
Yeah.
A lot of times,
isn't it? But it's scary. I mean, you're like, oh my gosh,
it's very scary. I didn't even know what a Finsta was.
What is that?
Oh, well, she's gonna know a lot more because she's got to be well versed in this.
Right.
She's a doctor. She needs to know.
Yes.
A fake
what you got? What is that?
Fake Instagram. So while
I know fake Instagram, but I didn't know it was called a
Finsta. It's like a bot.
I just know I'm finna go get this food. So I'm finna. Okay. Oh wait, we got Lisa back, so we gotta get Lisa back. Okay, Lisa, hi. Hold on, we gotta turn it up so Lisa can hear. I see her.
We see you, Lisa.
Well,
she's gorgeous. Lisa's gorgeous. Look at her. No makeup. She's gorgeous.
But we can't hear you.
Oh, no, we can't hear her.
I can hear Lisa over
She's having a ball of it. She's smiling. She's got a great smile. She's whatever she's saying, she's really into.
Well, I have a pediatrician, you know, chiming in, and she's saying the same thing. You know, she knew what it was. I mean, obviously, because she deals with the pediatric population.
Right.
And she was talking about, you know, definitely so much about the, you know, the likes and everything else. And of course, you know, at one point.
Hey, you guys now.
Oh, hold on. Hey, Lisa. Hi, how are you?
Hi, guys. Hello.
Okay.
I'm wonderful. I'm actually getting to my house where I've worked a 12-hour emergency room shift, and I want to join in.
Thank you.
So I'm literally walking into my home.
Hey, go Lisa.
Thank you for your service, Lisa.
Yes. What you got for us? What's on your mind?
Oh, thank you, guys. I'm calling in because I've been listening, and everything has sounded so amazing so far, especially with all of the information you guys. I'm just going to get myself situated. I'm sorry. All the information that you guys are sharing. I have myself and my son who just graduated from University of Houston. Go Cougs.
Hey.
So my son, myself, and my 14-year-old daughter have all addressed mental health. And one of the things that I really can say as far as COVID-19 and adolescence, because I think that was the conversation that we were having, or the topic.
Yes.
One thing I can say about that is there's been so many resources for the children, especially those that are going through virtual school, through your school district. And a lot of parents, what they will do is we skip that avenue. We skip that resource of having a counselor. Yeah. Of having a counselor. Hold on, I gotta tell just 1 second. Having a counselor. I told you I just walked in. Having a counselor, having certified clinicians that are there, and also with our school district, we're out near Fort Bend County, Lamar Consolidated, and they have actual free services. So one of the things I wanted to share with you all is, not only to get assistance through the medical community, which is definitely necessary, but reach out to your school districts, because a lot of them do have free resources right now. I know Lamar Consolidated does, including therapy and seeking a psychiatrist with free mental health evaluation and or therapy. And when we discuss social media,
thank you for that.
Yeah, when we had discussed social media, I have been able to connect with people who have the same challenges as I do, who
that's important.
Yeah, so I know that we discussed, the social media as far as some of the negative connotations that it can have. But there's so many resources out there, including apps that can help you with some of the anxiety that we may feel and when we need to get to a safe place. So I'm not for sure if you all had maybe a list, but that would be something that maybe could be shared in the near future as far as where do people get help,
Right.
Yeah.
Because
like
when
that.
you talked about access, I believe that the access or the lack thereof is because we don't seek it. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know where to go. So starting with
Right.
the school districts, starting with social media apps. Of course, you do have Harris County mental. I think I'm not for sure. Dr. Carla, can you share with us what are some Harris County or Fort Bend County public health platforms where all of the listeners that are within the Houston area can reach out for their children?
Right. Great comments, Lisa. Thank you so much
for
adding your value to our discussion.
Absolutely.
So some resources. So I am a psychiatrist that's working with TSU, and Texas Southern University has the SHAPE initiative and their counseling center. I also am a contract psychiatrist for St. Hope Foundation, which has surrounding clinics in the Houston area. And there's always the Harris Center, as well as you can reach out to Mental Health America or NAMI. But one thing that I wanted to circle back around to that you mentioned is that schools are very important. They're safe places for many of our kids. We talk about bullying and things like that, but the population that's at the greatest risk during this whole virtual learning, don't come back to campus, safety measures and precautions are those that were getting additional services other than just education during school. And studies have shown that the schools that are most successful with this transition to virtual learning are those that put mental health in the forefront. So not just learn this lesson and, turning these assignments, but schools have really paid attention to how are you doing? How are you feeling? We have these resources for you during this COVID-19 pandemic as we continue to try to address the emotional and educational needs together. So those are great points that you mentioned.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because not only with young people, but I do believe with our people, you have to be proactive and attack them, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go. They're not going to ask. They're not going to seek it out.
There you go.
So with advertising on your phone, if you mention something, if you say something, then an ad aggressively pops out at you and says, "Hey, you can get this, BOGO. Buy one get one free."
Right.
I think that's almost how the help has to be.
I think it
has
to drip in a relatable way, and you're like, there you go.
Because if we do the passive, not to offend any other sources, but if we do the passive thing and we wait, we might be waiting for a long time, because seeking out mental health might not ever be lit. It might not ever be cool. It might not ever be dope. It's going to be a situation where we're going to have to aggressively, what I'm saying? Like jump at them and say, come here.
Right.
Or, be an ad on your phone. Hey, you want a free
but just something. Yeah, but I agree. Yes, something relatable, something that's going to grab attention. Because I think that is the issue, is that we don't tend to seek it out, voluntarily. It's got to be something where it jumps out at you, or you're like, oh, that happened to me, and then that piques your interest, and you're like, oh. So it's definitely a cultural thing, I believe. So
I think offering free T-shirts was the trick when I was in college. I signed up for everything as long as I could get a free.
You got a free something?
Yeah.
You got that Discover card?
You got the yeah. I got
all the credit cards are right up in Michigan.
Yeah.
Right.
If they offered a T-shirt, if they offered what is it, a food?
Right, free food.
Man, I was on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Dr. Carlin. You know, I mean, considering you know, we're all the same generation.
Right.
You know, do you feel like social media is, you know, more harmful? You know, considering we did without it.
Right.
And I understand. And yes, we had our own, you know, bullying and things that you know, depressed us or whatever and all that stuff. But do you think that social media is definitely more of, you know, an aggressive evil, if you will?
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen? I mean, just your personal and then versus, you know, your professional.
So personally, I feel like it's not an evil because I am a hands-on parent and the parents that I know are hands-on. And as long as you're doing it in moderation, it's fine. It's when it goes over. So if your child is taking their phone to their bedroom at night and staying up all night and they can't focus in class the next day, or they are so bothered that they don't get as many likes.
At 14 years old,
Wait, you put your kids on blast?
Oh no!
She put the kids on blast.
Yeah.
Somebody got the gas.
I love it. That's what you're supposed to do.
I didn't mean to throw that.
No,
in.
it's just
Somebody got the gas.
they know their mama.
Yeah.
Wait.
I have to disagree.
Yeah.
So it can be if you don't monitor it, right? Because social media is meant again to connect us, to share information, and those are all great things about it. I mean, I know a friend whose son has made a business out of, you know, being a YouTuber.
There's a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, all of that is good. But then you have those that get self-esteem issues or clinical depression because now they're so lonely that they don't know how to connect in the real world.
What? And that's just you segue off something as you said earlier. You know, I think it's important for our generation and the older generation, you know, to realize that social media is not all evil. There are some positive aspects to it. I can honestly say that personally, I was not on social media before like 3 years ago.
Right.
At all. And the only reason I'm on social media is more of a business ad. I was never on it personally. You know, I always say, I like to fly under the radar. And, you know, if you know me, then you really know me friends personally.
Right.
You know, you're not just looking at some pictures or whatever. But I think it's important to understand, you know, the positive aspects of social media. So I do encourage our generation and older to really learn about it. Mm-hmm. You know, like my mother is like, I don't play with that. They're probably looking up our stuff. Right. You know, the government's watching, you know, that type of thing. So I was like, Ma, you know, you should look at this. And she was like, nope, you know. Right. So, but I think I encourage, you know, the parents to learn have a different perspective about it, look at it, you know, the positive parts about it, so they can better educate their own children about it. Because if you just look at it like it's evil, there's only bad stuff, you know, because all you hear is the bad stuff. Right. Is it right? Right. It's like when you're dating somebody and you're gonna tell your friends all about the bad stuff the person didn't do. You never talk about the good stuff. Right. You're like, oh, he did this, she did this, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But it's the same thing with social media. I mean, we've got to learn that there are positive aspects to it, and that's really how we're gonna understand how to meet our children, you know, in our adolescence halfway, right?
You gotta meet them where they're at.
So it becomes like I'm assuming that you talk to the parents as well, say, hey, you know, you have to do your homework, right? And you have to learn halfway what the positive, so that you can better talk to them about it.
So do you have a TikTok?
I don't have a TikTok.
Snapchat?
No.
Instagram?
I got an Instagram.
You have a business Instagram?
Dr. Carlin D.
It's
business and yeah.
Facebook?
Facebook, yeah, I got it.
All right, what else is out there? What else we got?
Discord.
Is anything
Discord?
I don't know what that is.
It's some kind of, I think
you like Discord?
Oh, see?
I just screaming about Discord. I don't know what that is. What is Discord?
It's a gamer community.
What is Discord?
What is Discord?
Kennedy, come.
Yeah.
Let's hear from the
Discord is for gamers. It's for us gamers.
Oh, did you guys know that? Discord is for gamers?
It's an awesome community. It's an awesome community. You just have to be, you know, like all social media accounts. But Discord, I've known some awesome people on there. Discord is pretty cool.
You know what's hilarious? I bet you this young people don't know about Pinterest. Now I was like,
I love
Are they on LinkedIn? Wait,
I
are
love
y'all young
Pinterest.
people on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Y'all need to be on LinkedIn.
That's what y'all
young
need to
people.
be. Tell the badasses. Get on LinkedIn. Get a resume.
I know. Y'all,
Taking selfies all day.
there you go. There you go. Send your stuff to, you need to set up a LinkedIn account, young people.
Right.
Right.
Right. Get link up that way. How about that?
Yeah.
I know Twitter.
Twitter.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
No, they know Twitter.
They know Twitter. They be tweeting.
They be tweeting.
I know.
Yeah.
And oh my God.
I know
Right,
a couple
so-
people that tweet too much.
See, I got somebody said never heard of Discord.
I
I know.
never
Well,
heard of
now you know.
Mhm.
So when your little ones grow up,
Yeah.
That's the value of listening
wait,
to this
when your
show.
little ones grow up, they're probably like, "That's old."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been at Discord
I know.
like 6 months now.
I know, right?
Yeah, and you have to know about all these things, right? Because I had a patient that was admitted to the hospital because he was on Discord. That's how I found out about it. But his mother found that he was addicted to Discord, took his phone, and he
He had a
became.
breakdown.
He came because he was suicidal.
Okay, so let's talk
Oh,
about.
that
Oh,
sucks.
let's talk about that. Let's
Mhm.
talk about the disconnect of social media
Mhm.
and
Right.
children and adolescents, because they are so interwoven. It's so interwoven into their lives. I mean,
Right.
when we as parents, it's not the same as I'm gonna turn your Nintendo off.
Right.
Ah,
I'm gonna take a little Nintendo.
I'm gonna turn that.
Right, exactly.
Right, it's not the same. It is not the same thing
Mhm.
because it's almost it becomes a part of them. Right, it becomes a part of their personality,
Exactly.
a part of their outreach.
Exactly.
So it's not the same as just no more Super Mario or no more Power Pad. Wait, no more Power Pad. Did y'all play Duck Hunt?
I just kill it on the power pad.
Wait, wait. You know how we used to do? Wait, when we jump off to the side, we do a long jump.
That's cheating.
What?
You're supposed to
Wait, no, we did you know what I'm talking about? What the long jump? You remember Power Pad, the thing you lay down? Y'all
Like a
remember Power
little
Pad?
rug.
Wait, so when it came to the long jump, you jump up to the rug,
Okay.
and then your person would jump and then you jump back.
Cheater.
I won, whatever. Anyway.
Cheating. So, but I
Oh
was,
yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but a quick story. My son, he has a TikTok.
Mhm.
And we used to do little dance moves and stuff like that. And then now he's transitioning to just posting Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, this Fortnite stuff. I was like,
Yes.
My son, I was like, well, how come we don't dance no more? He said, somebody said that his dancing sucks. Or he had
Really?
I was hurt.
Okay.
I was like, we're gonna do a dance TikTok.
Was he dancing
right
like you?
now. No,
No, because I was gonna say that was great.
You
was
know I
great
got it.
dancing.
I got it. Don't
Pat on the
let
back.
me with a good time. But
So he was affected by that.
it happened
How did
in
you
my
feel?
home. I was like, bruh, don't listen to these people. You really, really got it. And that's something that you have to. I'm fighting a bunch of adolescents, like a sea
Yes.
of adolescents people.
So
There's
what-
one opinion from his father,
What
but I
do
was
we
like,
do about that?
Yeah,
do we do?
Yeah, well, so you do what you said. Hey,
It's
help
like,
me
man,
out
let's get
today.
it.
Right, let's get it. Because the thing is that with kids and teenagers, their self-esteem is really fragile.
man,
And yeah.
that sucks.
And peer pressure is so important to them.
Of
And the
course.
thing is,
And that
that-
stands the test of time.
Yeah.
Social media or not, it
Right.
always is.
right. And we forget that kids, their brains don't finish developing until they're like
That's
mid
right.
20s.
That's
I beg to differ.
He's
Mine
still
is still
developing,
developing.
yeah. We've witnessed it.
Oh,
We-
for you?
We're witnessing the development of an adolescent brain.
Right now.
You might need
I
to
can
come in
see
for
it.
that.
I know I do. I know I do.
All right, okay.
I know I
It's
do.
okay.
Yeah.
But you're saying like their egos are fragile and their feelings are fragile. They're way more fragile than we were.
Right.
Okay,
Do you?
I just
so
wanted to
you
hear
feel-
that from a psychiatrist.
That's what I wanted to
because
ask.
I always thought that.
I do believe that because we are the first generation to be like, okay, well, it's not, you better do what I said. It's like, okay, well,
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I said so.
Right, exactly.
I know.
Yeah, so
You been right? Oh, I grew up with that. You better stop crying. Get some cry about it.
And you walk out confused.
I know.
I brought you in this world.
Okay.
Are you
Exactly.
threatening me?
Right.
So parents aren't saying that anymore.
Oh
No.
no.
I mean,
They're
I'm
soft.
just saying, like, yeah, they're not saying that.
So it's
Yeah.
true. The kids are softening up. There's more
But
sensitive.
that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. But then
Okay.
you have to shape and mold that. you just can't go on about your business and be so distracted as a parent that you don't shape and mold that into what you want it to be as a successful human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have someone chiming in, you know
got?
Daryl,
Oh, yeah, my man Daryl. What's up, man?
So, you know, I'm not ignoring you, Daryl. I hear
We hear you. We see you, Daryl. We love you, Daryl.
Amazing motivational speaker, by the way. Okay. So,
That's
he,
a family.
yeah, it's family, it's fam. All right. But he's been chiming in about, you know, some of the things, you know, one of the recent things he had talked about was, you know, I think that, you know, we do more positive affirmations. He was just like verbal, written, especially from, you know, guardians and mentors, just, you know, giving more positive, you know, vibes and outlets and everything to, you know, the young community nowadays.
Right.
I think we're better at that.
Yes, I agree. I have this little poster in my practice, and it's like 101 ways that you can affirm your child.
Beautiful.
And,
Nice.
Yeah, and I wonder
Beautiful.
how many of my parents don't say
Oh my
those
gosh.
things. Yeah.
Do this for me. Do you have a Facebook page or anything like that?
I do.
Share that
Okay.
on your page, and we'll reshare it on Talk Black Radio.
Oh, please do. Yes.
Kind of like a reflection of
We've got a lot of people
Right.
like chiming in. So real quick, again, if anybody wants to call in, 281-818-6218. You know,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to give a call into, you know, jot that number down, save it in your phone. 281-818-6218. We welcome everybody just calling in anonymously, or it doesn't matter, you know. But we like to open the dialogue about this because apparently a lot of people have questions, and we are in. I mean, just considering, you know, the times right now. I mean, this is important.
Right.
You know, this needs to be discussed. You know, I think a lot of more people have it on their minds, and they're just not really talking about it.
Yeah.
So,
outside of being an amazing doctor and beautiful woman and a intelligent woman and all that, you're also an author.
Yes.
You are also an author.
Yes, she is.
Yes. So
you have it's called Mental Illness, right?
Understanding mental illness.
The guide.
Comprehensive guide.
Comprehensive guide
To mental health disorders for family and friends.
When I see this book, when I saw the book and I saw the cover and I saw the name of it, I was like, this should be a textbook. This should be something it should be issued in HBCUs and like Psychology 101.
Right. Actually, a bunch of schools, not a bunch, I embellished just a few. It's on its way. It's on its way.
Wait,
I'm
what
claiming it.
No, speak that.
She's spoken into existence. Spoken into existence. There you go.
Some school districts have partnered with my publishing company, which is Sky Horse Publishing, to get the books for their schools.
Perfect.
Yeah, because it's really relatable, it's really conversational. And my co-author and I, Dr. Marquita Wills, also a Harvard trained black magic psychiatrist, that we just said, you know, we are both African American females. We get called on to speak at churches.
Yes.
I have a private practice, but this information needs to go out to the masses. And so my book talks about social media and kids and depression and anxiety, substance abuse, a lot of resources. I know Lisa asked for resources that can help those that don't have access. So it's all in the book. And the book was released just a year ago. And it's available at your local bookstore and also Amazon.com or Noble.com.
Doc, some of the people are asking what's your Instagram.
Dr. Carlin B. And I just did an Instagram live with Candy Eastman.
Hey,
Candy.
okay.
The only singing DJ.
Yeah. She said Dr. Cardi B. I said no, Carlin B. Carlin B. Yeah, Dr. Carlin B.
Dr. Carlin B is in the letter B. Dr. Carlin B.
Exactly.
Y'all go on Instagram. Y'all follow her.
Please.
How important is it? I know, but for our guests, how important is it to have a Black mother be a psychologist for really the world?
Yeah.
I'm in the mindset that we need to surrender the wheel of our country. The driver needs to be replaced by a mother, a brown or Black mother, to steer our country right. I'm totally convinced of that.
Right.
Why do you tell the people why I think that? Why is that important?
Reach into his adolescent mind.
So you want me to,
because he's still developing.
But there's a Black mother. There's something different
Yeah.
There's something different.
Okay.
She knows how to like take the reins and shake it up a little bit and send it on its way better than she grabbed it.
Okay.
And I think our country, specifically right now, needs an abuelita. They need a black or brown mother to run this country. Something, my friend, something.
Right. So we almost are there, right?
Almost. We're really, really close.
When Senator Harris gets in, yeah.
And then let's not sleep on Michelle.
Right.
In 20.
Yep. There you go.
2020.
Something.
Right. Well, but you bring up a good point. So Black women, we are intuitive, we are resourceful, we are resilient, and we know how to take care of things. And the buck stops with us. If you want something done, you better ask who? A Black woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good point.
That's a tough job to have. A black mother in this time period in America is a tough job.
Yes, and I let you know that earlier, but yes.
She lets me know once a week.
Right.
Daily, maybe. I'm just saying. Anyway, I mean, you got, just to remind you guys, you're tuning in to Talk Black Radio.
Yes.
You follow us on podcast. I mean, it's Talk Black Radio podcast. TalkBlackRadio.com. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. We're gonna start doing. We're live every Tuesday. Talk Black Tuesdays. Addressing the issues of the community and coming up with solutions, which is the most important thing. We want to come up with solutions. We don't want to just talk about the problems because we know the problems.
Everybody knows the problems. That's not hard to point out.
We want to find the resources. We want to find the solutions.
Plans of action.
Right.
When you have to, at the end of the show, we want to be able to point you to a resource, a phone number, an address, a person, a book,
something,
a website,
a takeaway,
something like that.
Or just a different perspective in something.
Yeah.
Even if something that you didn't realize before, or you had a question to, and it was finally answered. That's the goal of Talk Black Radio. We really want to reach out to our community. We feel like there's a lot of untouched, unsaid, unpacked things that all of us are experiencing. But because of our culture, we tuck that we tuck that down deep. We swallow it. Do we not?
We got a lot going on, man.
I mean,
we got a lot going on.
There's a lot of times we always put up our representative. Especially the more professional we become, the higher we put up our representative, and we stow that emotion, we stow that hurt, we stow that pain. Do we not?
We do.
We still, so I think that being able to open dialogue about that is so important, because it's something that you were never really able to discuss before.
Right. And it's important, and I don't want to get too deep with this, but one myth about Black, and Dr. Higgins is a friend of mine, and my brothers.
She's an AKA.
This nice intense pink dress I got on.
Intense pink. She doesn't say red. It's intense pink.
Right. But like one of the things is that Black people, our range of emotions aren't developed, evolved enough to get depressed. And so it was like depression is not a Black person's disease because we don't even have the range of emotions. Wow. So if you look at it from that standpoint, we're going to trick the enemy when we go take care of our mental health.
Exactly.
Because if we take care of our mental health, then we're in better positions to be,
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
So,
but that's what I'm saying. That is exactly it. So, that's the part that we're missing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Don't sleep on a single Black mother being president of America. We need that, man. We need somebody that has whooped somebody with a belt.
Hey, now. Or got whooped with a belt.
Or has gotten whooped with a belt.
Because
I
can empathize.
Yes. I need somebody that has worked.
They used to go run and put on pants so it wouldn't hurt as much. Don't put your hands in the way, they're gonna get hit too. Anyway,
my thing was when you get to that age where the whippings don't hurt, they say, wait till I tell your daddy. Then you straighten.
No, when you get to the age where you grab the belt, they're like, all right, I'm gonna stop whipping you. Anyway,
don't grab the belt.
Okay, so we wrapping it up, you guys. Oh my gosh. Yes, time flies when you're having fun. This has been an amazing discussion. I think we talked about, this is like, we want to continue it. Oh my gosh. Dr. Carlin, You are amazing.
Yes.
Thank you
You
for
are
what? Oh my God, thank
Where's
you.
the
Yes.
canned
We
laughter?
don't have the canned laughter because he
Come on,
ran
are
away.
the canned
Okay.
laughter-
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
I love
Canned
that.
laughter.
I love that. I
Are we
love
talking
that.
about mental health for the rest of the month?
Oh
or
my,
what?
well, it is the rest of the month. Today is the last,
Today's the
last
last Tuesday
Tuesday
of
of Mental Health October. Yeah. But Dr. Khan, please tell the people where they can reach you, where they can find you, social media and anywhere else.
So my website is healthymindmds.com. My Instagram is at Dr. Carlin B is in Barnes. My private practice is Dr. Carlin Barnes MD, and you can find me on Facebook and Twitter under drcarlinbarnes.org.
I love it.
Wonderful.
I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh. So you guys, this was part 2 of mental health in the Black community.
I love it.
Yes.
Nobody has any problems that a Black woman can't fix.
I can't argue with it. Not as no, don't,
Listen,
I'm just saying.
If it's that bad, go to a Black woman's house, let her cook for you, and then sit down and have a conversation. You're going to come out there a better person, I can guarantee it.
Or full, at the very least.
Full.
And comfort food does a lot. Anyway.
Full.
Okay, you tuned in to Talk Black Radio, the podcast. Hey, we look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday. Last shout out.
Sponsor.
Yes, our sponsor, Twist and Pinch.
Oh,
excellent mukbang. We ate the mukbang platter. He's showing everybody.
It's called Twist and Pinch.
Twist and Pinch, because you need to twist it and pinch it.
And go buy my book. Go buy my book.
And go buy Dr. Carlin's book. Excellent. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for our callers and dropping off that knowledge and the resources. Thank you
for the listeners.
And thank you for your service. Get some rest. I know you're tired, boo.
Take care of them kids. Take care of them children.
Take care of them kids. Let them take care of you. Tell them to rub your feet.
Shall do. Thank you guys. Wonderful time.